God, we need you in the Southeastern Conference. No, and they got punched in the mouth. Welcome to the SEC.
Everyone, welcome into TexAgs Rewind, presented by Specs and the Rollo Insurance Studio. Today, looking back at Mississippi State and also looking ahead to what could be the biggest game we've seen at Kyle Field in I don't know how many darn years, but we talked all about it here on TexAgs Rewind. Jackson, your favorite part of the show?
Just you and Billy talking about the SEC and all the parity in college football now.
Yeah.
It's getting really interesting as the season's, I wouldn't say coming to a close, but
it's hitting that
second
high
half
point
of the season. Yeah.
Yeah. Nick, your favorite part?
My favorite part was Jackie Sherrill and Chris Gordy and OB. Everything else, yeah.
Yeah, everything. So everything we did on the show, Nick liked. Everything, even the commercials, which I'm pretty good at doing those. That and more, it is a TexAgs Rewind. Let's talk about the Mississippi State game because there's different ways people are looking at this one.
Mm-hmm.
Some people are like, and by the way, I'm all these people rolled up into one,
right.
Okay?
Uh-huh.
Some look at it like, man, like, you play like that against LSU, you're going to lose.
That's right.
Okay?
Correct.
Also, you're not going to play like that at Kyle Field, in my opinion.
Well, you hope not.
You hope not, yeah.
Well, they did against Notre Dame.
Also, you played like that and won by double digits against a team that I think has found something offensively. First drive, they pulled out all the stops.
Boy, they sure did.
Right? 2 fourth downs, a third down conversion, and they got their 7 points. Their quarterback, I think, is destined to be really, really good. I don't know if star is the word I want to use, but I really like Michael Van Buren. I like him a lot.
He definitely has a lot of ability. Hey, he threw for 306 yards the previous week against Georgia.
Yep.
And you can say, well, a lot of that was late, but they were still, they were still playing. So, I think Michael Van Buren is a rising. I don't want to say, like you said, star, but I think he's an emerging player that's going to be he's showing the signs. I mean, he's going to be a good college quarterback, and maybe better than good.
And I heard from a lot of people, mostly Texas fans, by the way, but from a lot of people like, dude, you guys cannot win with Connor Wigman throwing interceptions like that. True. You're not going to win a lot of games if you lose the turnover battle. That is true. But look around college football. Okay? Did Quinn Ewers struggle?
I think he did.
Okay, did they bench him for a little bit? Or let him sit on the bench and regather his thoughts, whoever was afraid? Okay. Carson Beck, did he struggle a little bit?
Looks to me like you can only win if you throw a lot of interceptions if it's against Texas.
Well, there you go. Jalen Milroe, he's struggling a little bit?
He's struggling.
Okay. Jackson Dart's had his issues at times.
Yeah.
I guess my point is, yeah, you're right. Connor, we'd like to have those throws back. Okay? And I'm not making it okay by pointing out the fact that a lot of quarterbacks in college football right now are struggling. The implications, how big of a game it is, how A&M matches up with LSU. I don't know how much you've been able to watch of them, but just your thoughts on this huge showdown on Saturday night.
Well, it's big because if you look in the SEC rankings, there's only 2 undefeated teams in the conference, and that's A&M with 4-0 and LSU 3-0. So one of the teams is going to come out 4-1. So hopefully we come out 5-0 and they come out 3-1.
Well, what do you feel like? This one I want to ask you. How much of a home field advantage? We feel like, Mississippi State, obviously, they have a home field advantage and they play better there. How much did you ever feel like Kyle Field was a home field advantage, especially in a game like this with so much at stake?
Well, I would say 7 points.
Really?
And because of the sound, how loud it is, but also the reaction of the fans. And, Kyle Field is a place where you're recognized for good play. And the teams, you go through the country and you say, okay, which stadium really knows football? And the fans react at the same time. The fans get behind you and get the noise level up when your opponents are trying to do some things. And you can go into a lot of stadiums and the fans are not football savvy and they don't know how to react and help the team.
I've been saying for a couple weeks now, Texas hadn't really been tested. And, I had Texas fans telling me, oh, you're just a hater. This is our best team we've ever had. And, Texas is going to go undefeated. And I'm going, guys, you're not going to come into the SEC and just run the table. It's not going to happen. Losses are going to happen. This is what playing in a tough conference is. You've got to have a really special team to be able to go unscathed, like a Georgia, like an Alabama has had in the past. But I like this Texas team. It's loaded with talent. But I also thought, man, Quinn Ewers, missing a month of football, playing kind of average against Oklahoma last week. I was like, I don't know if he's primed or this team is primed and ready to face a Georgia-hungry defense that got Mykel Williams back and had all these dudes ready for a breakout game. And you saw from the get-go, man. I mean, the speed of that Georgia defense was relentless. To have a Steve Sarkisian coach team only put up, 259 yards of total offense, they were swarming. And, I love he avoided the whole quarterback controversy up to this point, and then he goes and puts Arch Manning out there for a series. And it's like, dude, what are you doing? Now you got people really questioning Quinn Ewers. So I thought the CJ Baxter injury before the season, we didn't talk enough about it. Like, Jaden Blue's been fine, but Trey Wisner's been fine, but they really needed CJ Baxter. He would have really helped make this offense that much more dynamic. So again, Texas, are they still a good football team? Yes. But man, I'll just be honest. It felt good to see them get a little bit humbled because that fan base was talking, and it was like, guys, stop acting like you're God's gift to the SEC. The SEC gave you an invite. You didn't just demand your way in. They extended an invitation to you to come to this conference. It wasn't like, oh, please, let's all bow down at the hands of the Texas Longhorns. God, we need you in the Southeastern Conference. No, and they got punched in the mouth. Welcome to the SEC.
Linebackers, it was
pride of South Lake, Carroll.
It wasn't just Scooby. Like that group has. Well, I don't know if it was the Notre Dame. I think it was early on. Where I wanted to see more from that group overall, and I think Torian struggled in that Notre Dame game. Since then, that group overall just keeps getting better.
And by the way, Torian had a good game as well. Really good game. What do you have?
He led the team in tackles.
Couple tackles behind the line. I thought, let's give credit where it's due when we sit here and say, man, we see a little more impact from him. He had a big sack against Missouri last week, and then to come back and do this week. So maybe he's really starting to feel.
12 tackles, a half sack, 1.5 tackles for loss.
Yeah. And I thought, but Scooby really stood out. And I don't know what did his stat line say, but he really stood out.
6 tackles, 2 solo, 2 tackles for loss, an interception, 1 pass breakup.
Yeah, and that pass breakup was a big play too. He came in there, flew in there,
yep.
Skied and got it. What an athlete he is. And by the way, so is Damian Sanford, who made plays himself, and he always just flashes. Damian Sanford has a big play or two in him, down the stretch here too. And by play or two, I'm probably underselling it, but he's one to watch on Saturday. And then, we don't see as much of Solomon DeShields. He's a great-looking athlete when he's playing out there as well. So they've got a really nice situation. That's probably, I would say that's been my most pleasant surprise. The secondary improvement, I expected that. And obviously, I think their 2 biggest tests are still on the table, one this weekend and one against Texas. But the secondary improvement has been off the chart. You can't even measure how much better they are. Then on the offensive line, it was more like hopeful, but I also knew what they had to work with. But it was okay, we got to see it to believe it, and you just don't know. Okay, I know they're going to be better. I know they're going to be minimum like a respectable SEC O-line. They've exceeded those expectations by a long shot.
All right, Oxney, tell the people what to do.
You are going to want to like, comment, and subscribe, and tell your friends about our show.
Yeah, I like the way you said that. Please do that. Please do it immediately. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time.